Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Winnipeg by Night, episode 7. More. It was a long night previously. Human sacrifice involved to appease something inside the haven, something in the basement, something that claims to end up being the earth, the sky, and all the creatures between heaven and hell. What a place to live. What a time to live as four baronies jockey for position for the city. And amongst these four warring barons in this pseudo Cold War that the Anarchs find themselves in, a small coterie is trying to find its way at night. Adder, Ruby, currently attending to Eddie, a thin blood, potentially of Ruby's creation, accidental or not. Omen, at this point, has to deal with the fact that he has hand delivered the haven, human sacrifice. Colton is looking into a touchstone. Who's recently lost someone. A quest for vengeance, perhaps. Or maybe it's just the excuse the beast uses to feed. I leave you to be the judge of that. Whereas Winnipeg goes to sleep, as the nights start to end up becoming shorter in springtime days. The clock is ticking, the pressure mounting. I would like to start tonight by getting a rouse check on every player. Ruby, that's a pass. Adder, that's a pass. Colton, or pardon, Adder, that's a. You got it. And my cat just broke something.
Oh no.
Yep. I do not know what is with that cat. Sorry. Now she's looking at me. All right. Where was I? All right. Rouse checks. Adder failed. The only one to succeed was Ruby. Ouch. So can I have everybody's current hunger, please?
I'm at 2.
3, thankfully.
Yes, 3. So definitely going hunting.
Omen.
3.
Okay. Well, living on the edge, ladies and gentlemen. You end up finding yourselves getting close. That moment where the beast can kick off at any time. That instinct that vampires have. So, with tonight, you, who would like to start and where?
I think first thing in the morning, the Omen would be trying to feed and get that out the way.
Omen, you are going for a feeding attempt.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Omen might need you to speak up just a little bit, as you're kind of registering a little quiet right now. All right. But, yeah, let's go ahead and make that hunting roll, shall we?
All right.
Now, remember, you are in a Chase 2 domain, so are you willing to... Do you want to sneak into another's domain to try and make it a little easier, or are you wanting to stick to your own turf?
Let's stick to our own for now.
All right, well then. That is 3 successes. There's a 10 in the hunger dice, but we are going to need a minimum of 5. So you can choose to re-roll it, or we can succeed at cost. I'll end up making the cost simple. Somebody's getting interrupted tonight.
Somebody's getting interrupted.
Could be you. Could be Ruby. Could be Adder. Could be Colton. Who knows?
Do I want to throw the others on the bus potentially? Yeah, I think they'd be able to handle an interruption. I doubt it would kill them. I'll take that cost.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind. So, as you, Omen, proceed to feed a pursuer type, the kind who stalks, finds a way to justify what they're about to take. It's all about the hunting down, the dirty little secrets, the kind of ways that no one can worm their way out of. On occasion, you manage to catch the right person at the wrong place with the wrong stuff at the right time. How much are you taking right now, Omen?
I'll take 2.
Clean
Just
feed.
back in control.
That gives you a little bit of control at the very least. What do you do after you feed, Omen?
After I feed, I'll shoot a text to Adder.
Okay, well then we will hold off on that until we'll hold off on that until the next round. Who wants to go next?
Ruby can go feeding.
Okay. Sounds like
Are you
we're doing-
asking Adder for help?
If you want to help, you can.
It's not like we haven't done this dance before.
Right? Alright. And looks can play into it too for the roll.
That is 5 successes. Ruby, you managed to end up getting fed. Congratulations, our little siren.
Yay.
Nightclub business has been kind to you as of late. Makes things a little bit easier when you're on home ground in familiar spaces. Still, it becomes difficult to end up trying to maintain, as a lot of people are asking where have you been over recent nights. You stop in, but you stop in less frequently than some of your regulars. A lot of the staff want to end up knowing what's going on. Though I imagine the rumors persist when they end up seeing Adder with you. Everybody loves to sip that tea, unaware of the truth. And that's probably for the best for now. However, let's hope it doesn't lead to complications. Adder, while we're in the neighborhood, what are you doing?
Um, well, strolling up with Ruby for a little bit, playing a little bit of Lookout, playing Wingman if she needs it. But kind of looks like she didn't really need a lot of my assistance tonight. So I'm just kind of mingling in the club, kind of
Just
seeing what.
kind of mingling.
I'm not really. I'm not really on the hunt per se, but I'll take an opportunity if it presents itself.
Hmm. Well, it's not really something that's going to present itself.
Not in the
That's
usual way that I
obvious.
do.
Fair. So, well, you can end up eating up another hour to do so, but
Nah, I'm not gonna
let's
hold up.
check in on Colton then.
Mm,
Let's check in on Colton.
yes.
Colton, what are you doing right now? First thing in the evening.
Well, first thing he'd wake up, he always makes sure Earl gets a little bit of food in him. And then tonight he needs to go hunting.
Another hunting roll. Wow. Always good. You guys have been busy over the past little bit in any hunting you've done, if not been for you. So, by all means, Colton, make me a hunting roll. I need 5 successes. You got 4. So you can willpower it or you can succeed at a cost.
What's the cost?
I'll make this pretty simple for you. I would like a aggravated willpower damage.
I don't like those. I'm gonna take my chances with the reroll. I only
Okay.
need 1. That's mathematically shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, but we're dealing in the
But
realm of
yeah.
Then there's
mathematics.
Derek Dice.
Yeah, then there's
And then
Derek
you
Dice.
in the process.
Yep.
Nothing to feed on that. Now, that being said, Omen, you said you're texting Adder. What does the text read at this point?
Let's meet up for a little bit. I want to pick your brain on something.
You have to speak up, Omen. I can barely hear you.
Let's meet up for a little bit. I want to pick your brain on something.
Okay, where at?
The park.
Cool. See you in 10.
See you then. And I'm gonna be headed that way.
About this time is Ruby done?
Yeah,
Her
about
feed?
that time. He texted you after feeding. I'm presuming all the feeding takes at about the same time. So, sure, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, ready to go?
I'll let Ruby. Yeah, I'll let Ruby know, and we'll head out that way.
Mhm.
Yep.
Park. Little slice of heaven in the middle of Mountain Avenue. Hardly enough place to end up playing a game of catch with the sun, far less private meeting grounds. This isn't one of your big excursions so much as just a block dedicated to grass, trees, and the occasional tent. I can guarantee you they're not camping. Still, it's enough. At least being able to keep a distance, looking about. Trees offer enough cover to not let too many people listen in At the very least, without seeing them get in close. It's the weird little places that make it really hard for people to listen in on. Adder, you find Omen waiting for you, along with Ruby. Along with the Ruby right beside you. Omen, you definitely see the pair. Here's the question I have to ask, though. Where is Eddie at this point, since he was in your charge?
Eddie would probably be sitting on a park bench.
Hmm,
Not too far away, but able to see who's coming and going.
Fair. Fair. Part of the domain's defenses, so to speak.
Definitely was pointing him out where best places to sit, best places to get to if he wanted to listen in on something. If you were quiet enough about it. Kind of teaching him how to use his environments a bit.
Okay. Adder, Ruby, you find Omen.
Good evening.
Evening.
Hello.
Hey, you would see Omen pull out a very old, dirty red letter and hand it to you.
What's this?
This is what I got from the house.
What you got from the house?
I don't know, my audio is broken. 1 second. Uh,
What you got from the house? Looks like you're very confused.
yeah. Gave it to me after getting the job completed. Actually, Eddie was the one that delivered it.
Okay. And I'm gonna carefully open up the thing.
Now, Omen, do you remember what he would find if he were to read it?
A very flowery lettered invitation. Um, it was definitely a sign from the Ordo Dracula, though. But
Do
it
I
resembled Matthias's usual invitation.
do I know what I'm looking at?
This would require a intelligence occult. It's a pretty high
Can I
check,
assist
but
in that?
yeah, if you wish.
Yeah.
Okay. Get Ruby's assist. And ooh, 4 out of 5 isn't bad.
You want to push it, or are you satisfied with 4?
Yeah, I'll try for one more. Why not? Ooh, 5 out of 5
5 out of
successes.
5. That is as good as you can get without a crit.
Hmm.
Odo Dracul. A coda ring, so to speak. Back in the Camarilla days. We have to rewind the clock back a bit. Back when the Sabbat held Montreal. Back when the Camarilla was more concerned with fighting the Sabbat than the Anarchs. When the Anarchs maintained an uncomfortable position within the Camarilla. A revolutionist movement still building inside its adversary. A difficult time that, before the shotgun that removed Hodgstadt's head. The Order Dracul was a subsect, a pack, supposedly, that defected and ended up joining the Camarilla. In any other city, this would sound absurd. But in Winnipeg, under Prince Dufresne, wouldn't be much here. It wouldn't be very out of line to say particular gifts of a Sabbat pack would not be useful to such a prince. You can definitely... Omen's correct on the assessment that this has to do with, shall we say, some old handwriting. Something that is very known if you've ever dealt in Matthias' circles, which you have, Adder. But the letter itself feels like it was something that was dug up. You can look at it as the paper's old, the ink's runny, surprisingly well preserved, but the paper is far from fresh. The Order Dracul. What would Matthias have to do with a defected Sabbat pack?
That's the next question to ask, I suppose. But the gist of the letter would be an invitation to see Matthias, or to
invite them here to speak. A invitation for discussion of things that should not be written or discussed over television.
So the house is inviting Matthias over, basically.
No, other way around.
Oh.
The Order Dracul was invited to see Matthias.
Ah, okay.
Matthias was the one who written the letter. Matthias was the one who sent out the invitation.
Okay. It's an ancient invitation. Okay.
Gotta be at least 50 years buried. At least.
Huh.
But Matthias was an outsider of this city. He wasn't around during the reign of Dufresne, so why would he have anything involving a defected Sabbat pack?
That is a good question. But if the intention is to have Matthias come and visit again, could pass along the invitation. What I usually do.
Would potentially go to know who might have been a part of that defective pack?
I mean, we don't want to jump to conclusions, but I was kind of thinking the same thing. But
So was I.
don't want to assume anything about anybody until I have actual, substantial enough hearsay and or proof. But definitely an invitation to Matthias by the Order Dracul.
No, you have it backwards again. It is Matthias who is extending an invitation. He is inviting them over.
Oh, okay. Now. Okay. I'm all backwards.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. The core thing you need to remember, Matthias written the letter. He's the one offering invitation.
Okay. He's the one inviting.
That's how you know Matthias is involved. It's only signed M, but it is in that distinctive flowery cursive that he loves to use.
On his invitations, yep. Okay. Because I've passed along enough of his invitations to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Where would they be now?
You're whispering again. I can't hear you.
Just makes me wonder where they are now.
The Order Dracul?
Yeah.
Well, the house gave it to you. And what I assume about the entity below the house is true, then the house is the Order Dracul.
Or at least was a member of it.
If it didn't need its own packmates.
Yeah, that's fair.
What do you know about Simisi?
What would I fully know?
Well, if you're wanting to leave it to a roll, then I will leave it to a roll of occult and intelligence.
Yeah, I'll leave
Could I
it
make
for
this roll as well?
It would be a separate roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, this is asking what you would know. It's not
Yeah.
joint venture.
Yeah, that's why I was asking if I can make it too.
Omen, you know them as fiends. It's the closest a mortal will typically run into a literal fucking devil.
I mostly just know them as fiends.
Ruby, are you keeping that roll?
No, I'm rerolling that 10.
You mean that 10 in your normal dice because of the 10 that is currently in your one soul hunger die?
Yep. Okay. Whew.
Okay, managed to avoid that. Alright, 4 successes. Zamisi, typically known as fiends. A clan that was very, very prevalent in the Sabbat. These nights, with the Sabbat being dispersed, having lost control of its two key cities in North America, Mexico City and Montreal, they have dispersed. A large portion of them have been gutted as they have been now brought into the Camarilla, or at least the La Sombra have been brought into the Camarilla. Started into Chicago, and the practice has spread, especially with the loss of the Bruja and the Gangrel. Camarilla had to make up for lost muscle. And the Sombra, for all their faults, definitely qualify. Zamisi, on the other hand, typically too proud to end up accepting such invitations. However, with their animosity within the Camarilla, there's been a resurgence, Zamisi, amongst the anarchs. Depending on the age of the Zamisi, you'd be running into one of the Sabbat, you'd be running into a Unbound. If they're extremely young, you may even find them amongst the anarchs. Ancient Zamisi don't have a tendency to go anarch, though there is words out down Texas that some have even taken up the realm of Baron. It's not to say they can't be found in the Camarilla. I mean, the Prince of Tokyo is presumed to be Zamisi. So there's always an exception to the rule, but they are an exception that proves the rule. For that, for the fact you got 4, let's focus on Winnipeg itself. There's a handful of very, very young Zamisi. Most of them out of town. Makes sense. Winnipeg's floodgates just opened with the loss of the Camarilla, and everybody clamoring to end up finding a new chunk of domain to end up taking in a city that was held by the Camarilla for over 100 years. Absolutely. There was a large amount of people suddenly jumping in on this. The thing that's probably most prevalent for you to know at this point is that a large portion of the Zamisi find themselves in Silverstein's domain. And when I say large, I mean 5 out of 7. Still, for a clan that has very little claim to this particular or this particular city, it seems that a lot of them have come in here. Might have to do with Winnipeg's reputation. The city will sort you out. Perhaps hinting that all kinds of crimes against kindred kind can be forgiven here after the inhumanities set by the Camarilla.
Well, I know they were pretty scattered once Sabat lost their cities over here on the side of the pond. Varying on the age of them, you can find them anywhere from the Cam to even here in the Anarch. So, most of the ones here in Winnipeg would be over with Silverstein.
Yeah, that's about sums it up. They made up a big portion of the Sabbat, and well, that was mostly what I was looking for. But yeah, territorial, tend to not like people encroaching on their own property.
Makes sense why they'd be in Silverstein's domain.
And if we have one that's buried under that house, who's kind of melded themselves into the earth and basically become this little plot of land, it makes sense that they don't want anybody encroaching on it without paying proper due.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So we can assume about this particular individual that they might have had spot connections, and this is Matthias's handwriting. Little juicy piece of information about our little Baron, isn't it?
Yeah.
Old news, but still juicy. Might still be relevant news. Who knows? I don't. I didn't intend to find out.
Makes me want to start asking you more questions.
Just be careful who you ask. because not a lot of people around here are gonna want to talk about someone who was a Sabbat and maybe joined up in Dufresne's court and was buried, who knows, 50 to 100 years ago. And now that Dufresne and her allies have moved on, that I don't know. People don't like digging up old wounds. I certainly don't.
And why does it feel like we're about to?
Because uh, because
Some
the
wounds
better
have never closed.
because we're curious little kittens, and curious little kittens don't keep them paws to themselves.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So at this point, gotta try to figure out who the old, at least one of the older CBC would be, other than this house potentially.
Well, they didn't give you a name, did they? Just Order Dracul as
Yeah,
listed on this slip of paper.
just listed on there. So narrowing it down is going to be a pain in the ass.
Well,
Typical.
I mean, there's always asking Matthias to his face.
I can
There
see
it
that going
is.
over extremely well.
I'm not exactly buddy with him, so I do
Neither
jobs
am
for
I.
him from time to time, but not exactly buddies. He doesn't trust me with sensitive information. I'm just a courier when he needs it,
Hmm.
especially coming in this direction.
Could ask him, but at that point, I'll potentially let him know my suspicions.
We don't suspect him of anything, do we?
I
I
fucking
think
suspect
Owen
him of
means that would.
murdering.
I think Owen means it would mean that our suspicions of it being some meatsy under our house would be known to him.
Right.
I mean, the closest thing that I could think of that anyone knows that we're having issues with the house is Preacher, and he's not exactly the type to just give away information for free, especially in regards to the types of people that he actually likes spending time with. So I don't think he's going to delve that information without telling me first.
Mm.
And that's really the only person who knows that we've been having house troubles. Right?
As far
Yeah,
as
that's
I
fine
know.
enough. I have. I gotta go check something out.
What do you gotta go check out?
My sire's old place.
Your sire's
Might
old
be,
place?
yeah, might be something there that could tell me what, if there were MHCs or a name or something that he might have been in contact with.
You think he would have left that kind of stuff lying around for just about anybody to find?
Not just anyone can find, considering the place was
Most
warded.
kindred don't even keep a Rolodex.
Nope. But when a place is warded, don't really have to worry about kitchen. For the most part, anyway.
Warded? He would have had the kind of friends to ward his house?
I grew up with a warded house. Now I've heard everything.
Like I said,
Last I checked, the
me and my
Brujah and the
sire
Tremere don't exactly get along.
there are
Typically.
workarounds. But as I said before, me and my sire aren't your typical Bruja either. He was more studious than anything. Could still cave in your fucking skull,
Crafts.
but
Was your sire a member of Dufresne's court?
we were.
Huh.
Not something you kind of just tell people. Especially given the change of things.
I don't remember you ever being in the mosh pit. You
Usually
must have
stay
had
to
connections.
for the most part we stay to ourselves.
Yeah.
Adder, do you believe that for 1 second?
Mm-mm. No, I don't believe that at all. But I'm not going to tell him that. Well,
But if you all need something, I'll be a phone call away. I need time to
You don't-
think on things.
you don't want any help?
I don't know if you'd be able to help with that.
I can help with a lot of things. You don't know a lot about me.
I wouldn't mind someone tagging along.
Well, let's get everybody involved. Let's call Colton.
Yeah. The more eyes, the better.
Speaking of Colton, let's jump to Colton at that point. Because Colton just finished eating. So, Colton, you got a mission in mind. Why don't you put us in your headspace for a second? Let us know what's going on in your head.
Oh, he contacted some of his criminal friends and the night before to get a few fences and shops that operate in the area so that he could go around and look for things that were offloaded, get information, try to track down who was exactly involved in everything that he's looking into.
I'll tell you what. Give me a wits or no. This would have been pressing. So let's do a charisma investigation, and I want you to add your contacts die.
Okay. You know what? Because this is important, he will willpower.
Well, that's 9 full successes. With crits. With a bestial crit. Colton, from here on out, you're going to be under a hunger compulsion. St. Vital. Southside. Burb. Silverstein's domain. Some of the rougher places used for chop shops typically stay low rent and try and end up keeping off radar, but are usually loaded up with vehicles that move surprisingly quick. On the outset, these places that would normally be in the north and west end are rated with some degree of frequency by Winnipeg's finest. Those who maybe have better connections, those who have better camouflage, are really able to rake in the bucks. Well, those are typically found in more affluent areas. It's not unusual to end up seeing a pawn shop out in a place where a lot of people are struggling. It's another to end up seeing a pawn shop up down in more affluent areas. And so you find yourself having to end up looking elsewhere. In this case, an automotive or an auto body shop used as a cover. Somebody ended up squealing. They don't know you're coming. They don't know who you are for the most part. And that's probably for the best, Colton. When you end up pulling up, you can end up seeing them cars lined up, some of them on blocks, some of them half gutted for parts or in various states of disrepair. Others look like they're being made fresh off the lot. Maybe just got finished up with detailing work. You end up taking a look. The neon sign is illuminated. The open sign continues to stay lit. Small location. 2 different carports specifically closed. But you definitely see some people are working pretty late night. Though I guess in a world of darkness, that's not completely unusual. I will remind you, though, you are currently outside of your domain and inhabit another Baron's property.
I guess I would start my way in. Looking around, seeing if I see anything out of place. Looking for who's in charge.
Looking for who's in charge. So you come in, and as you end up stepping in, Earl follows behind you, seeing a young man behind the counter. Looks a little raggedy, a little thin. Got a do-rag on his head as he looks you over. Guy, we don't let dogs in here.
I'm here to speak to your boss.
Yeah, and who would you be?
An interested party.
Yeah, congratulations, Fed. Get the fuck out. You got a warrant, you come in with a fucking warrant.
Do I look like a fucking cop?
Yeah. You do. So, we have the right to refuse service. You're not here to buy anything. Get the fuck out.
Hmm. Is there anybody else around this guy?
You can hear some people working in the shop at this point.
Like, that's a little loud, right?
On and off, occasionally a wrench. It's not like they're just axle grinding at this point.
Hmm. And this is a known chop shop. They are known criminals.
Oh yeah. It's definitely criminal connected.
Okay, I'm going to put this as simply as possible. A car came through here and I want to know who brought it.
Fantastic. Get a warrant.
I'm going to draw my pistol and put it in, just hold it in front of me with my hands crossed. As I said, do I look like a fucking cop?
Dude, you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this.
I asked politely to speak to your boss. We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Oh, you done fucked up now. Oh, you goofy son of a bitch. Oh, you done fucked up. You have any idea who the fuck you're pulling from?
No, that's why I'm here. Or do I know who is in charge of this?
No, you don't.
Would I've gotten this?
No, you don't.
I have good authority that what I'm looking for came through here. Now that we've established that I'm not a fucking cop, and I'm going to put my gun away, I'd like to speak to your boss.
What you see is this woman who steps out. You see her with fingerless gloves, long blue hair, kind of a tank top, a little bit greasy at this point. She looks you over. She stands a little bit short. Very thin, very athletic. You see that she's currently holding a wrench. Simon, what the fuck are you calling me here for?
Would you happen to be the boss?
Depends who's asking. He's got a gun. Yeah, like that's gonna help him.
Yeah, he thought me a cop. Had to
You,
otherwise.
Colton, Earl's growling.
That's what I figured. Now, are you the boss?
I asked who's asking. And outside of a guy who doesn't know how to keep his dick out of his pants, who's apparently into bestiality, I don't know who the fuck you are. So why don't you pull that gun on me? You're gonna need it.
I came for a conversation.
No, you came here making demands.
To speak to a boss.
Yeah. You've definitely decided to make an impression.
I'm looking for information.
Go to a library.
Not much of a book reader.
Yeah, that's
That's
clear.
what I want to know.
You don't exactly
Apart
strike
from
me
that.
as the type who's read Plato's Cave or Aristotle.
No. Car, make and model, came through here X number of days ago. I want to know who brought it. I'm willing to pay for that information or work for it.
Car came in. Okay. And if I don't tell you, you're going to bust up the place, put a few potholes in places they shouldn't be, get a whole bunch of attention. That's the shakedown?
I'd rather do this amicably.
I doubt that. I think you wanted to do it amicably because you thought you had an edge.
No, generally it works better that way. Less messy, less noise. There are things that you want. I can help get that.
Yeah, there are things I want, but you barged into my place. You read much Hegel? Oh, sorry. You probably eat books more than you read.
It's good fiber.
Funny. Hegel had this interesting theory on how you view history, right? People tend to think of it in ages, going from one major conflict to another. But Hegel kind of thought about it in a very different way. This idea of thesis, antithesis. And when these two meet, you get synthesis. The two things going against each other eventually kind of chipping the flaws away at each other. And what you get is something that is more function than form. In fact, it's how great societies are built. It goes everything from the United States, Roman Empire, Egypt back in its heyday, even further back, right down to Shaka Zulu. This French Revolution, perfect example. Napoleon comes in after a whole bunch of heads are lopped off to remain order, and thus we end up having modern day. And what you're experiencing right now, friend, is that being played out in a garage where no one's going to hear you. So, you want to play this amicably by coming in, drawing a gun on my little buddy here.
Times politely to speak to the boss, and he kept calling me a cop. I had to prove that I wasn't a cop.
Well, a hell of a way to prove it. Roll me a charisma persuasion check, please.
Sure.
And we will go up against... We'll go up against wits and insight. I'll make it a flat roll. Oh. So they're willing to spend a willpower on that. Four is to beat.
No way I can beat. So. What if their wits inciting me on being truthful? Is there anything else you want to try to get out of me?
No. There's an assessment going on here. Okay. You want to be helpful. How about you start off with a name? Bud, take a walk. I got this. He came in with a fucking gun. You think this is the first fucker to end up putting a gun in my face? I was getting bored tonight anyway. Let me handle this pickle jar lid so I can open it. And you can just end up sitting in the back like the bitch you are. Didn't have to get all personal. Watch it. All right. Let's start off with some wonderful little tidbits. You have a wonderful little point of deciding and coming in. You wanted to prove you're not a cop. I believe you. I really do. I also end up knowing that you end up bringing in the dog for backup. I mean, but you don't bring a dog like that for backup unless you intend to do something. You say you want to help me. No, you want to help yourself. So let's be honest about that.
I'm merely exposing an exchange.
Yeah, well, let's start off with introductions. Who the fuck are you?
As I said, my name is Colton.
Okay. Colton. God damn. I thought my old man gave pretentious names. Okay. You want to know about a...
And I'll list off the make and model. We never discussed what it was.
And if I happen to know of said thing, you want it back, how much are you willing to pay for it?
I don't want it back. I want to know who brought it in.
You want to know who brought it in? That's clientele. I don't offer that up. Bad business if I suddenly end up pointing out to every Tom, Dick, and Harry who ends up bringing a piece of mechanical luxury into my shop.
These people took out an entire family.
And
I need to find out who they are. So the simple matter of it is, what's more profitable to you than a couple of boosters that you can find in any street corner?
Yeah, boosters are a dime a dozen. Boosters that can do it repeatedly, get away with it, that's a little trickier. Not exactly leaving a booth out front for employment outside of university. U of M kind of frowns on the idea of, yep, we need car thieves here. Get in on the ground floor.
Well, colleges don't really teach life skills anymore.
So, you want me to roll over and just suddenly give it up, but you want to end up offering me something. Okay, Colton, what can you offer me that I can't do for myself?
I have a certain set of skills that I can use.
I've heard that one before.
I'm good at finding things and making things disappear.
So am I. That's why when he damn near wet himself when you decide to flash your piece and then end up deciding to flash your pistol, he ended up calling for Mama Bird.
Seemed like the simplest way to get to the top.
Oh, this ain't the top. I'm just keeping the seat. So, you want this and you have a particular set of skills. Okay, fine. Yeah, we end up having that. So let me think on this. Sure. Shouldn't be anything to you. You want to find out who was involved in the car? I have a simple request. You want information about some lives lost? Let's make it, let's make it a, well, the kids call it these days, an equivalent exchange. You want to find out about a life lost? I'm going to need a life lost. You're implying a certain set of skills implies you're pretty good at that. So let's have at it, shall we?
Sure.
It shouldn't be hard. I mean, he's just an old man. Yeah. Unless you have a problem with killing Catholics.
Depends on the Catholic.
Well, don't worry. He's a piece of shit anyway. She writes down an address. Tends to hang out at a church at night. Old near fella. And very much enjoys the priestly garb. Late night services. You'll know him by the old boot leather that he calls a face, glasses, and really gaudy hat. Take him out. Bring me his glasses and hat. Or his heart would probably be more accurate. Yeah, I think his heart and his hat would be really good. Bring me that. I'll let you know everything you need to know.
I'm going to look at this address, and is it who I'm thinking it is?
Oh yeah, it is exactly who you are thinking of. This woman is asking you to kill Preacher.
I'll see what can be done.
Yeah, well, don't keep me waiting. I get impatient. I got a little bit of a temper on me myself. You don't want that coming out.
And I'll just go down, Earl, let's go. And I'm going to walk out. And I'm going to drive to that address.
I think it's about that time you get a phone call from Adder.
Hi.
What can I do for you, Adder?
Hey. We're hanging out. Want to come along?
I have some important things that came up tonight that I have to deal with.
Party pooper.
Oh, I just promised a friend I'd look into something.
Want help?
This could get interesting. Though, if you get into this, you might get your hands dirty. Are you still interested?
You want to meet up and talk about it first? Because that's ominous.
It's kind of an in or out thing. Know that you would be helping get information on a family slain. But to do that, we might have to get our hands dirty.
What? What is it with you and making things interesting? I am intrigued, but you don't want to say anything over the phone. I get it. Whatever. I'm with Omen and Ruby.
Oh, meet me at the church.
The church?
Mm-hmm.
What business do you have at the church?
What? The salvation of my soul.
Bullshit.
If you come, I'll explain everything. And
God, you're such a fucking prick. And I hang up the phone.
Colton being
Colton smiles to himself.
Colton told me he's busy going to church. Going to the church.
Why does that sound ominous?
Because it would be the second night in a row that you guys have showed up at that damn church. Preacher doesn't necessarily. He has his nighttime sermons, but that's that's a him thing. I don't want to impose on that nearly as much as we have been.
I mean, creepy old man kind of be getting into suspicious stuff.
My God. So, what are we doing right now that needs our attention? Maybe more than what Colton's doing.
I can postpone what I was going to do.
Well, that's up to you.
And if it sounded ominous, probably should.
Yeah.
You know that also means that he knows how to get under my skin and kind of know exactly how to get me to do things at this point. Right? He piques my interest on something and won't tell me and gets me curious.
Oh, honey, I could have told you that a long time ago.
You shut your mouth.
Oh, let's go check it out.
And Ruby's gonna give a call out to Eddie, like, come on, we're moving.
Here we go yet again. I'm actually going to text Preacher ahead of time. Let him know that Colton's on his way.
I would have done that, but I don't have his number.
You get Preacher's attempt to speak in code using emotes. It makes no sense.
I got a response, but it doesn't make any sense. Oh, I think he's sufficiently aware now.
Smiley face cactus poop emoji.
Swearing he doesn't know how to use a phone.
He's using emojis though. I mean that into itself took like damn near 5 years to get him to finally start.
It's true.
Now the hard part is getting him to stop.
FT is emojis the new wingdings of this current era?
Probably.
So that's where we're headed, the church.
Yep. Much to Ruby's annoyance.
Let's see what Big C needs.
That's where we're headed.
All right. You end up approaching the church. Lights are out, but somebody's home. If only on the fact that the door itself is unlocked. The four of you arrive in relatively timely fashion.
I'd like to make one thing clear. I leave my backpack and put my pistol in the backpack and leave it in the truck locked. So
Earl coming with you though?
Earl will come and at least stand at the front door.
So Colton, why are we here barging in on him tonight?
You'll love this.
Well,
I was just tasked to kill your sire.
I'm sorry, what?
That's something I didn't want to exactly say over the phone,
It,
but I'm investigating something, and the person that's paywalling the information wants your sire gone. So I want to see how your sire wants to handle this because, well, I like the old man, and
Well, of course
I
he's
would
not
never
gonna
do it.
go for being dead.
Well,
technically
That's
already
fine.
is, but
yeah, I was about to say technically he's already dead, but I don't think he wants to be unalived even again.
Semantics. Jeez. No, you. Fucking not.
I know, I have no intention of doing that, but
Okay. I just
this
wanted
is
to
a
make that
delicate.
absolutely clear.
Just so you see, and he'll open up his thing. I didn't even bring anything to prove that.
That that does nothing to assuage my fears because you are kindred. We have fangs, and he shows his own off. That's enough.
Do you think I'm stupid enough to attack a kindred as old as he is on equal ground with nothing?
Colton, I don't know you well enough to know whether that is actually something you would do or not. So,
No, I like
pardon me if I'm
stacking the
jumping
deck.
to pardon me if I'm jumping to a little bit of a conclusion about this interaction here, because you just told me that somebody wants Preacher dead, which isn't new news, by the way. It's just weird hearing it from you. Who wants him dead?
that's what
Someone
I
from
want.
down south. I'll tell everything so I only have to say it once when we get into Preacher.
Fair enough.
Wait, you went to the south side?
You have
Why?
to go. You have to go where the information is.
Hmm.
Why? What was so important?
A friend of mine's family was killed. And I'm finding out
Sorry,
who did
but
that.
that happens in Winnipeg.
You
Sorry
Doesn't
for
mean you
your
should
loss.
just let it stay
might
like
be
that.
able to let that slide, but I'm not that kind of person.
No, you're the one to kind of seek vengeance, is what it is.
You can call it vengeance, you can call it justice, depending on what side of point of view you're on.
Well,
If
there's
you want
very
to call
little
it
actual distinction, but
that.
sure. We'll talk to the old man, see what he wants to do about it, because this person that you're saying that wants him dead, I'm curious to know who that is. Because
Well,
for the same reasons that you want to get to the bottom of this murder of family members of a friend of yours, they just put out a threat on my sire
mhm.
through a coterie mate of mine. So I don't exactly take lightly to that.
But it should show a little bit of trust in you that I'm telling you this outright and bringing you in and going directly to him.
Yeah, because I realized that you could have just stabbed us both in the back.
But that's not how I operate.
No, you're a little more straightforward.
Oh, we could have went full James Bond.
But let's go talk to Preacher. We need some advice on
Um,
this.
You are leading this conversation, not me.
Hmm.
I'm going to regret this, but curiosity has killed the cat. God damn it. Why the church of all places? Why?
Because he's a Catholic priest. And he's just going to
Rival?
open the door and walk in And since he grew up Catholic, he'll show the respect.
And so will Adder.
There are certain rituals that are maintained within a church of such, though I imagine to Ruby it must be really odd seeing Adder do so given your common company.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Colin goes over to the bowl, gets some holy water, forms a sign of the cross, and says a little bit of prayer.
Ruby is staying the fuck away from all holy symbols.
Yeah, Ruby, you're gonna need to spend a willpower if you want to get in there.
Already did.
Okay.
That's why I was saying. I'm
I'll
gonna regret
walk
this.
in
Very
and
often
I'll
he kills
sit in
me.
a pew waiting for preacher to acknowledge us.
Owen would look for the collection plate and put like a $20 bill.
Nah.
We'll wait a minute before maybe I go searching for Preacher, see where he might be.
You can wait a minute. Doesn't take that long before you start hearing a voice. Oh, it's not coming from any one place. Echo in this place is, well, tall ceiling, tall walls makes for fantastic audio, but terrible at trying to figure out the angles where. Save for a couple of lit candles near the front.
Mostly dark in here, right?
Yeah. You know, I never expected the four of you to end up showing up here so soon. I know I'm an irresistible personality, but even this feels just a little clingy. I'm not even married.
I didn't know we were playing the Wizard of Oz in the Church of God.
Certain smells make me a little nervous. Now, I'm led to believe my presence is being requested. Who is it that might be telling me the glorious truth of the matter?
I would have a private conversation with you if you can spare the time, sir.
Nothing's private between you and the all-seeing eye.
That's true. I just don't want to speak this loudly so prying ears can hear.
No one's in here but us. Made sure of that. When things tend to get bloody, I like to end up keeping matters private.
Well, I came to you seeking advice. Situations came up that I went after information, and the price of that information, someone wants you gone. Now, this is obviously something that I will not do.
I wouldn't say that's too obvious. What makes you think you won't do it? What, you known me a little longer, you known my kid a little longer, living complications suddenly going, well, what exactly is it that makes you say you're not gonna do it?
That would be a betrayal, and I'm not very fond of that.
Oh, please. Everybody betrays. You betrayed the living, and that you were made. You betrayed friends, family, by abandoning them, distance themselves. You don't even tell them what you are, do you? You lie, you cheat, you keep them in the dark, feed them bullshit. Don't feed me a lie. Especially the same one you feed to yourself.
That may be true. Simple matter is, I like you more than this person. And I'm a coterie mate with your child.
So
And that
this is
still
more
holds
convenience than anything else. It's inconvenient for you to end up pulling it in.
No. Well, you can see that from a certain perspective.
Certain
If you want to
perspective.
boil it down to base things.
That's all it is. You're before the Lord now, son. Certain levels of bullshit don't fly with him. Nor with me.
It would take a lot more for me to want to have to do that than just what that is.
Sure about that? You came
I'm
into a
still
house.
young and naive enough to believe it.
Yeah, that'll change with time. So what do you want? Just out of curiosity. Can't take my head. Seems you hit a roadblock.
I want to know how you would proceed. The way I would do it is work with you to take them out so that they're no longer a threat and I can get the information that I need.
What makes you think they would be no longer a threat if I took them out? Who are we even talking about?
It was M, right?
That'd be correct.
Someone that called themselves M runs a chop shop.
Don't narrow it down.
Southside.
South side. South side. Silverstein's territory. Now, why would Silverstein want little old me out?
I don't know.
Hmm.
But as I said, that's why I came to you for advice.
That's why you came to me for advice. That's funny. That's real funny. So if I were to tell you what, go with God's blessing, blow up the whole place, leave them burning, and have them confess their sins to you as the kerosene starts to tickle away at their skin. You do it? You're looking for permission?
I could do that on my own.
Yeah, you can do a lot of things on your own, so why involve me? That's you asking for permission. Sounds to me like you're trying to assuage the guilt, or at least pass it along. Many hands make a light load and all.
Well, I wanted to know the best way to go about this.
I don't think you're in a position to have the best way.
At the very least, I wanted to warn you that someone was out for you.
Well, that I appreciate. And it's worth something to me. It's worth something to me that you put my kid in the mind. You're a member of the coterie, and that does tug on my heartstrings. Yes, indeed, I still have a heart.
Funny, that's what they wanted me to bring back.
No,
That and your glasses.
no. And however will I be able to read the scriptures without them?
Oh,
Feel them within my bosom if you were to end up suddenly removing the organ that connects me to such. This makes it sound very personal. M, you say.
I'll describe short lady, stocky. Favors a wrench.
Blue hair.
Was it blue hair? I didn't
Yeah.
remember that. Okay, man, blue hair.
I believe I said
That ring a bell
blonde,
to
actually.
me?
I believe I said blonde. Which
Oh, you
Okay,
said
blonde.
blue.
I did say blue. Oh,
Yeah.
did I let a Freudian slip go? Well, okay.
Either way, does that ring a
Either
No.
bell to
way,
me as well?
It would. It would. I was trying to hide one specific aspect, but that specific aspect now slipped out, so now it is out there, which. Huh. Oh, man. Colton, here's a question. What would you say is the character's most defining trait?
which characters?
M. If you had to describe M very, very close.
Confidence.
Okay.
I don't remember the physical description as well, so
It's
that the thing that I remembered was, she knew that I was armed and was ready to try to tune me up with a wrench, so that she's very confident in herself.
Does this person ring a bell?
I was waiting for Colton to give apt descriptions that might give you a bell to ring. He hasn't really given you much to work off of, and there's one detail I'm trying to muddle, but now it's out.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's my fault. I should be very, very clear. So since we're talking around it, I guess then I would say yes. Then, yeah, Omen, you would have a sneaking suspicion you know who I'm talking about.
Where was this individual again?
On the south side.
It doesn't quite narrow it down. Colton.
Do you know this person?
Put into it. I would love to have a chat with them, though.
Well,
Does
I need
everyone here
information.
have beef with somebody on the south side?
Oh, this isn't beef. Just
You
a
forget,
friend.
dear. I'm from America. The North and South have always had beef.
That's not what I meant. But good to know that you hold that between yourself as an American and myself as a Canadian.
I was thinking more of North and South of America, our whole Civil War. It was kind of like a history joke.
A very horrible one.
I know I'm
But
not a very smart person, so you wouldn't expect a history joke from me.
I'm not super familiar with America's history, if I'm honest.
Mm.
it's fine. It goes out.
So, I intend to go back there and get the information that I need. If we can do that, if you know this person, Omen, and can get it out of them peacefully, I would like that. But
If
I'm
you
not
could
going
get
to
him out
stop.
of him peacefully, wouldn't you have done that already?
I didn't have Omen with me in the first place. If he knows this
You
person,
see Omen give a very wide grin. I can get it out peacefully. I have some questions of my own.
Right. This is going to go well, isn't it?
Doesn't it
as I,
always?
s-
Oh
that's why I said,
God! Please bring me back detailed descriptions of the train wreck. It just
With
tastes
pleasure.
so good on the wind.
hmm, well, I'll take you there, Omen. Adder, you and Ruby, this might go bad if you don't want to be involved. I understand.
Are you kidding?
A
There
chance
is
to see
there
all this
is
fun?
there is no way that I am going to miss you saying we're going to try this peacefully and not watch this train wreck myself to bring back to my sire.
You can curate then.
Colton, I'm
Preacher.
very grateful for the father-son bonding time you are about to deliver unto me.
I'm sorry that I had to show up with such shocking news, but
Shocking. What's
well,
shocking? Somebody wants a man in a white collar dead? You must be new to this century.
that's true. Anyways, I appreciate your understanding, sir.
Though I would be remiss if I wasn't the forgiving type. Might not want to end up coming at somebody so direct when you end up saying you got orders to kill him. They may not be
Well,
as
that's the
understanding as me.
That's the reason I decided to come unarmed and leave Earl outside, so the sincerity I hope would shine through.
No, I think he was referring to M.
Yes.
Well,
It'll be fine.
I think that's where we're going to take a little bit of a break to unwind. Be right back, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I hope everybody's doing well as we end up delving into Winnipeg by Night, episode 7. More. Tonight, the coterie is heading off to a garage out in St. Patel on the south side. Colton had been tasked with the removal of the preacher at her sire for a little bit of information to an investigation that is near and dear to his heart. Not able to go through with it, either emotionally or logistically, he has now put himself in a awkward state where now he's coming back with his full coterie. A sad state of affairs. As you end up here seeing yourselves travel outside of your domain, you start traveling southward into, for the most part, unknown territory. You end up having Silverstein's domain. Baron Silverstein, a member of the Banu Hakim. Amongst the Anarch Barons, a more, shall we say, militant arm. A counterbalance to Baron Louis. See, Baron Louis is the revolutionary. Stalked his life and his unlife on it. But Baron Silverstein, something far more different. Organized. The kindred under her care march in lockstep. So much so that some have made the parallels between her and the old Camarilla, which would obviously end up leaving you nailed on a rooftop, left out for the sun with such accusations. But But Silverstein professes that while the Anarchs hold Winnipeg for now, they're in no condition to be able to maintain Winnipeg unless they end up holding to a unified front, ready for the next time Camarilla decides to take back the city. In that domain, this garage, run by, or as far as Colton can tell, a woman named M. Now, Colton here comes back with this full coat. However, what Colton's intentions are, I guess we're about to find out. Any thoughts or feelings as you start to end up going over the bridge and start to head into St. Patel?
I'm riding with Colton. I'm in the seat directly behind him. You know this is going to look like... You know what this is going to look like, right?
If it goes bad,
No, I'm talking about in general. Just a full car. Full coterie. Walking up on this place. After you had said that you were going to brutalize another kindred.
yes.
So tell me what that's going to look like. What that looks like to you.
I'm hoping that's going to be outweighed by the ties that Omen has. He says that he can get the information out of this person.
And if he can't.
We deal with what comes next.
Okay. What comes next, Colton?
Depends on how they react.
We know how they're going to react.
Like I said, your hands might get dirty if you come along.
I'm not opposed to getting my hands dirty. I've done that plenty of times. I'm just wanting to make sure that you know what you coming in alone, then coming in with your full coterie, looks like to an individual who is like us.
I'm aware. At best, we can get the information we need. At worst, well, your sire has one less enemy.
You're really ready to put another kindred's blood on your hands?
That's if we can even get back to her.
Here's a question. Who's driving? Since you've all said that you're all in the same vehicle. And whose vehicle, might I specify? As I remember, Colton drives a truck.
Yeah, it would be a crew cab.
Okay. So it's Colton
there's
that's
bench
driving?
seat.
Okay, Colton.
Yeah, probably.
How are you approaching this situation?
I'm driving normally.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
going to
sitting
park a
directly
little
behind
bit.
him in the passenger seat, yep.
I'm going to park a little ways up the road.
Wow. Crew cab pulls to the side. You start to end up making your way out. You can see the lights above a tree line, an artificial tree line, one of many in the city. St. Patel General Hospital. Almost like a standard raised, letting you know exactly where you are. When you end up getting out of the cab, is there anything I need to know before we continue on?
Bolton would take his jacket off for a moment and open up his backpack and pull out a short rifle that he has in there and put the sling around his neck and shoulder, and then put his jacket back on over top of it.
All right.
Omen's carrying his duffel bag as usual.
Omen.
Adder has his pocket knife in his pocket, but he's very much considering taking it out now.
Omen. You
Yes.
said that you're carrying the blade. But if this is who you think it is, do you really think this is the best approach? Or are you just going along with the pawn right now?
This is not the best approach. This is not the best approach at all. But on second thought,
I could slink in.
getting in there quietly would be the best option.
I am quiet and I am invisible.
You would see Omen's demeanor has shifted quite a bit. He's more constantly looking around, kind of judging the area. He is keeping an eye out for potential blind spots that could be taken advantage of.
There's more than a few here. Enough to make you incredibly nervous.
Just so everyone's on the same page. We're sure we want to declare war on M.
Quietly getting in and talking to them would be the better option.
That's not what this is going to look like. You know that. I know that.
I mean, going in unarmed would probably look better, but considering we're all for coming out of a truck anyway, people are going to presume things regardless.
That's what I'm telling you their presumption is going to be. No matter how many are here, if it's just M and her lackey, if it's a slew of people, if it's a bunch of people, and a bunch of actually other kindred from Silverstein's domain who actually take place here, are you sure?
Omen.
Yes.
You're the one who brought it up, so I would like you to give me a wits perception, please. Because you're the one who brought this.
I'm going to assist him.
Yeah, I can assist too.
I'd like to assist as well.
And I'm also going to heal my 1 aggravated damage, just in case.
Just.
Okay, only cost me 1 hunger.
Okay.
That's 9.
I think Omen sees into the Matrix.
You do. Omen.
You do.
That's 9. Okay, Omen. I'm going to tell you what you see. First thing you would have noticed is a few spots that you think are ideal. Would have ended up pulling out. They've already seen you. You know that. What you see, though, isn't guns. It's cell phones. Forward operation. Early warning. This doesn't
That-
feel right. It's not just one. They might have seen you coming out of the truck. They definitely see you with the hardware.
She definitely already knows we're here. And the spotters have phones.
No turning back now. Hope it's worth it.
We'll see.
Because if not, you owe me dinner.
Sure. Going to go up to the building. Kind of keeping an eye on some spots. Making sure to. Obviously, they know we're here. But kind of give a slight nod that I know you're there too. So
I'm
I
keeping to the shadows.
Okay, Adder, would you be kind enough to roll me? Because you are obviously, as I've described, already in view, so you can't just obfuscate in front of them unless you have a really powerful obfuscate. But I will give you the chance to do a dex and stealth to try and maybe slip vision.
Lose
step in
their,
the dark,
lose their
step-
sight. Break-in wouldn't
Hey.
help in this air.
No. But you would get advantage because they're trying to keep track of the entire crowd. So
Okay.
anybody who has stealth can assist you.
Okay.
I'd like to assist.
I would assist
I'll
you.
assist because I'm not exactly being stealthy.
But you do have a point in stealth, just to be clear.
Yes, I have
Okay.
multiple.
No, I have to double check because that's the only way you can help. Otherwise, you don't understand
Yeah.
what Adder's doing fundamentally.
Besides, I see better in the dark anyway. Oh, that's a messy crit.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Adder,
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
you have a compulsion.
I figured.
Because we haven't had the chance to really let you shine, I'm going to give that to you. You are at a -2 penalty for anything that doesn't involve somebody breaking a conviction until a conviction is broken. Either personal or chronicle.
Okay.
So let's see on how well you've
That
been paying attention
makes-
to everybody else's personal convictions.
Make someone else or make myself sin.
You're already past the. You've already crossed the Rubicon, so to speak. So, in for a penny.
In for a pound. But yes, I slink into the shadows and I also am using Silence of Death. I believe I have that. Yes.
That
Silence
won't
of Death
affect
in my-
what's going on here right now, but I will keep a note.
No, but my footsteps are quiet.
So how does the coterie pull this off? What are they doing?
What do you think, Omen? You wanted to talk to this person.
She already knows I'm here, so either she could already be making her way out, or she wants to talk as much as I do.
Well, I'll follow you in.
I would give a knock on the door.
I'm going to
By the
tell
way.
Earl to stay with Ruby.
Ruby, where are you? Since where you are depends on where Earl is.
She's hanging back. She's going to be following the boys, but she's hanging a little bit further back. She's not a fighter.
Omen, you knock on the door. And the signs up says it's no longer open. The door appears to be locked. You don't hear anybody respond. The place looks closed for all intents and purposes. Adder, what are you doing while you're sleeping? Slinking around.
I am keeping an eye out for where people potentially could be, either inside the building or surrounding it, just to make sure we're not going to get jumped.
Okay. Roll me a wits awareness, please.
Okay. It's not great.
Not great, but yeah, you're also at a -2 penalty.
Oh, I didn't actually. Yeah, I didn't do that at the
Okay, so
minus
that
two.
would have
My
only been
bad.
a 1 success. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
Because that doesn't really help in the compulsion area.
No.
So, that being said, Ruby's hanging back. Omen, you knock on the door. There's no response. Bolton, you see that the sign's off. You see that the doors to the garages are closed. The place looks closed now.
So, here's another question.
Dude.
What does the building overall look like? Are there windows?
So, what you see is a fairly large garage, okay? It's a single story. Half of it is two carports. You imagine that specifically for the mechanic shop or the chop shop portion of it, away from prying eyes, with the big sliding metal doors. You see the front door that has kind of that wired glass on the front. And what you also end up seeing is this large bay window full of, well, what you can only imagine is tempered glass. It does showcase the inside, but the inside, it showcases, like, the counter, air fresheners in the back, the kind of stuff you expect to end up picking up for odds and ends of your car.
Okay.
So what do you...
At that point.
Now, just to be clear, you haven't done a full walk around, so that is entirely just what you see from the front.
Not getting a knock from the front, I would start to make my way around to the back of the building. While I'm walking, I want to try a new ability. Gotta try premonition.
Okay, let's give it a shot. What are you trying to ascertain in this given the situation?
Trying to ascertain. Particularly, what would Metaspeed do in this situation?
Okay. Then give me the roll.
All right.
See what you can. See what premonition offers.
That's 2.
That's 2. You can willpower to try and get one more, or you can succeed at a cost.
Oh no. What would that potential cost be?
At some point in the during tonight, I will be dispensing a total of 10 aggravated damage across the entire coterie at my discretion.
Oh,
Perfect information. It's going to cost you.
Ooh, 10 aggravated dispensed throughout the coterie.
Yep. And I assure you, it will not be evenly spent.
Ooh.
You want extreme results, so you get the extreme costs.
Ooh. It will make for a damn juicy ass story to preach you, though.
but it could also potentially kill somebody outright.
Yeah.
Because I haven't decided how I'm going to dispense it. For all you know, I could be rolling a d4 and it could all come up on one dot or one number repeatedly.
Yeah. You know what? I'll take the willpower.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Listen here, motherfucker. You're not helping in the situation.
Look, I've been playing
My job.
preacher for a bit. I've been helping out here, coffee. I am simply here playing into the ministry stereotype.
Damn you both. God damn it. I want to take it. I want to take it so badly. But I know if I do, someone could get fucked in the ass.
So let's go for the willpower then. Let it never be said that I didn't try and give you something fair.
That is fair.
You wanted me to unravel an entire 10 play sessions worth of play in one go. Yeah, it's gonna cost you, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a fail. That's 2.
Two. I'll give you some.
Oh yeah, gotta rouse for that too.
It starts in a blanket of snow. It ends in blue and fire. It starts in a blanket of snow. It ends in blue and fire.
Fire. Okay. With that, going to keep a lookout, but go around to the back.
As you go to the back, you can definitely see a back exit. It's one of those big steel doors. You know, it's the kind that are usually used in places like this. You can see 2 dumpsters, one for garbage, one for scrap. It looks like it still needs to be taken to the junk heap at this point. Colton, what are you doing? Well, Colton secures the back and Adder. Yeah, Ruby, you're on watch.
I'm going to be backing up Omen and keeping my eye out for anybody or anything suspicious.
Okay. Adder, Ruby, you are just continuing your watch, or is there something else you'd like to do?
With the boys going around back, Ruby's popping heightened senses.
In fact, I'm also going to do so. Start listening out for.
All right. So we're using
different things as well.
2 points of heightened senses, just to be clear.
Yeah, because I'm nearby the building.
All right. Remember, you're still under compulsion, Adder, but I would like a
Yep.
wits and aspects from both of you. Or pardon, wits, awareness plus aspects.
Okay. Yeah, for me, it's that just makes it a -1.
Hey, coffee. I see something. I see something. 5 successes on a bestial crit again.
No, that's Raven.
Oh, that's Raven.
That's
Okay.
me.
Oh. Ruby, I would like. I think for you, be most appropriate. Since the cameras are on, you're in the middle of it. Paranoia starts to kick in. And what makes this worse is the Malkavian Bane.
Ruby has the alternate Bane.
Oh, you're right. You're using the alternate Bane.
Yep.
So, when I think of alternate Bane, double check this.
Basically, whenever I use a discipline, mortals in close proximity are spooked. And any interaction with them apart from intimidation suffers a penalty equal to my Bane severity.
Well, that's probably for the best in that regard. Ruby, you smell blood. You smell blood and something else. That small lick of, well, what some would refer to as birch bark. You would know as kerosene.
Oh. Fuck. With heightened senses, is Adder close enough to hear her?
I wouldn't say so because you were kind of behind the boys at the front.
Yeah.
Adder was kind of trying to keep to the side to watch, be on a kind of more of an overwatch position.
Yep.
I would say no.
Okay.
So let's go to Colton and Omen.
Trying the back door.
Okay. Omen, you are. How are you doing this? You're just trying it. You're going because I'm pretty sure it's locked. I think that would be a fair assessment.
Yeah.
So what?
That is.
How would you get in?
Omen would be putting pressure on the door. Kind of like right.
I'm hearing a potence roll, aren't I?
Yes.
Okay, I will ask for a strength, athletics, plus potence.
And for this, because something could go down, he doesn't know if they're waiting for them and they're with guns and stuff. I'm going to use toughness.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right.
It's 3.
3? Not quite. You're gonna need a little higher than that. You willing to willpower that, Omen, or would you like to succeed at a cost?
I think I'll take the willpower this time.
Sure. I'm so good with my costs.
I
in the
think
details.
sure.
6 successes. You place your hand into the door handle. You put your palm on the brick that's just outside, and you give it a sharp shove as you put your palm in, cracking the brick. And rather than the door coming off, the whole door frame just kind of pulls out. Its bolts and everything get ripped out. So the door's not open, but you can go in.
There we go. And he's just gonna quietly set the door frame to the side.
Everybody else hears like this, just a sudden crunch and bending of metal. What the hell was that? I imagine it's startling for Ruby and Adder with heightened senses.
I let no one say you cannot pick a lock.
Thank you. I've tried my best.
Omen, you start to go into the room. dark. You smell something. It smells like blood in here. Something else. Colton, as you poke your head in, you look through the door, the one that M came out of in the shop.
Eyes of the beast will be on so I can see.
You can definitely see. What you see is someone. No, it's a silhouette. What you see is a blanket draped over someone who's clearly sitting in a chair. You can see little bits of blood stains towards it. But it's hard to make out the details from here. I mean, you're trying to look through the deep or a garage with 2 cars raised from, well, the office portion. You can definitely see someone.
He's going to look at Omen and say, hold here for a second. And he's going to try to stealth his way in and, like, see if he can get in beside him and see what's underneath of that.
What is that smell?
By this point, I'm gonna have slinked up next to Omen.
Okay. After you pulled in Ruby, are you doing anything at this point? You just heard the back door suddenly being removed.
The second she hears that, she is backing up. At the same time, she is getting Earl's attention. She's not sure whether he'll understand her, but she's trying to tell him, go around and find a way to tell them kerosene.
Make me a charisma and animal kin, and don't forget your bane penalty.
That's for mortals.
No,
Does that
your compulsion penalty, because you're still under paranoia.
Yeah, that's right. You said charisma, animal kin.
-2.
Yep.
Earl tilts his head at you as you proceed to walk like an Egyptian, trying to communicate through the power of charades. So that being said, Colton, did I hear that right? You are going to check under, or you're going to go in and check under?
Yeah, but like I said, I'm looking out for anything suspicious.
Then this is going to come down to a wits investigation, please.
Wits investigation.
After all, this is your forte, isn't it?
That's
Can
one
I
of
try
them.
to assist?
If you want to get in closer, sure, Omen.
Please. Medicine.
And I'm also going to require one from Ruby, specifically. Also, you're still at penalty. A wits awareness, please.
A what's awareness from me too? Okay. Am I adding in aspects to this? Because
yes, you are.
Oh, good. At least I have that behind me. Oh wait, paranoia.
Yep.
Yeah. Well. Hooray! Really?
Well. Okay,
yeah.
you do not know that. Colton?
Definitely was going to get a little bit closer.
Alright.
Oh. I thought he wasn't going to, so I rolled without the...
No, it's okay. So you are gaining closer and assisting, Omen?
Yeah.
So add one more die to that, Colton.
Alright, let's... A D10, right? These are D10s.
D10.
Nope.
Colton. You are really focused on what's on this blanket. The smell of blood. It's damp. And as you pull the blanket, you end up feeling a sudden tug on it. A tiny bit of resistance, which suddenly gives way. I'm gonna need you to roll me a Dex Athletics, both you and Omen.
Yep,
Yeah.
I knew it.
Well, I can't meta, so walk into it. Alright, let's see. 3.
Can I rouse for this?
You absolutely can.
Yep. Oh boy. Life is going to be difficult. Dexterity. Alright. Motherfucker.
That is actually enough, believe it or not.
Oh,
Two
thank God.
successes from both you is enough, as you're forced to jump back, Colton. And Omen, you stumble backwards. As the car that's elevated, it's on that lift, suddenly comes right down on top of the person in the chair. Crushing them, folding them. Colton, you see the person crushed is the person you were talking to at the counter, the person who called you a narc, the person who is now pulp. Bones crushed as the weight of the car is suddenly come down on them. And hydraulic fluid starts to spray out of this thing. You fall backwards, Colton, and you look up at the wall on top of that corrugated wall mounts that would normally house tools. Instead, what you see on it is marker written on it. No takesies backsies. Omen. It's at that moment you end up seeing some kind of light coming from under the car. It flickers.
Oh. Oh, no. No.
And it's at
We need
this
to go.
point, Ruby, because you didn't get the check, I'm going to reveal now what you should have heard. Sirens.
Fuck. She is immediately pulling out her phone and sending a mass text. All three of them saying, "Get the fuck out."
Ruby, they're going to be on you in less than a minute.
She is making her way to a further alleyway and obfuscating.
If you have the time.
Yep, if she has the
that
time.
That being said, Owen, Colton, Adder, I'd like to end up congratulating you on, well, I know Omen and Colton right now are inside the actual station as a car is about to ignite this entire place that Ruby may or may not have smelled the kerosene of. And Colton, Omen, you guys are in the garage section. You need to end up getting out of this place. And you might want to get out of this now.
Yeah.
Seeing that, do I see this?
Do you see this? Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Okay, well, I'm
Go
heading
on.
off straight towards, is it a straight shot to the front of the place?
Okay, so, like I said, you are currently in the section where there would be two vehicle bays for operating, right?
Yeah.
Right beside it would be the office where you guys came in through the back door. Alright?
That's where I'm at.
Where Adder's at. So,
Would it be faster to go back out of that door, or would it be faster to go through the front and through that big bay window?
if you think you can try, I think I made mention it's definitely tempered glass, so depends on how you want to end up trying it. But I will leave that choice unto you.
Well, I'm going to run through, put a round through the front window, and jump through it.
Okay, you're going to
I'm
end up doing
going-
that.
I'm going through the big garage door.
Omen, you're going through the big garage door. Okay, well, I'm going to end up asking for two separate checks. I'm going to ask for a strength athletics from both of you. Omen, you can end up adding prowess to it because obvious reasons.
Oh yeah.
Could I argue Dex Athletics?
No, because even though
That's
you
pure
even
running.
though you cracked it, you are needing to put enough body weight to go through it. It's not you trying to thread the needle; it's you trying to bulldoze. The advantage you have is just that you've already chipped at it with a single shot.
Okay. Well, let's
I'm
try
just
it.
running.
Adder's close enough to the back. Adder. Well, okay. No, you've heard sudden panic. You see the boys panic, so I'll give that to you. Adder. So let's see here. Omen.
Oh,
Yeah, Omen. Okay. Okay. That will be more than enough. Colton, you have barely enough. Okay. Colton, you fire around through the bay window at the front, and you cross your arms, letting them take the brunt of the impact as you end up shattering through the front. Ruby, you are about to run. Like this is the point where you're about to run. So if anything, this is the thing that might startle you. I need to make that known here. So we're gonna end up finishing up this round. Omen, your beast instinctually knows what is about to happen. It doesn't have time for this shit. As you run to the front, you grab hold of this sliding steel door, and you pull, snapping the lock as you end up throwing it up. It roils up at the top as it ends up going up to end up giving you a chance to end up getting out. As you start to end up going, I am going to ask for everybody for one last Dex Athletics, please, as I think we all know when fire damage is about to be activated.
Yes.
Now,
myself included.
Adder, you've included, but the challenges are based off of all of you have different levels of difficulty because of position. So
I assume this includes Ruby too.
this includes Ruby too. And
I'm Ralphie.
Ruby, like I said, the reason for the reason that you're caught in this is because of the failure of the perception check earlier. Otherwise, you would have had an advance warning.
Considering I am trying to run, does the penalty kick in?
Yes, it's anything that does not play into here.
Okay.
This has less to do with you trying to find a safe space to end up getting away from it all, so much as get away from something bad about to happen. Because when Colton and Omen decide to burst through the walls like the Kool-Aid Man, we know shit be up.
So I'm also
okay,
at
so
a
that
negative
just-
penalty because
That
of
takes
my.
it back to the
Yes,
original
Adder,
rule
you would
of,
also be at penalty.
I gotta re-roll that.
All right, so let's take a look down the line here. Okay, so first and
I gotta
foremost,
re-roll that.
Omen, that's a 4, isn't it?
Yeah, that's 4.
That's a 4.
Yeah, it is.
That's a 4.
We thought
Compulsion, but it's a 4. Um,
Are you going to stack up compulsions like I did the other night?
no. This is gonna get so much worse. Ruby, you okay. So we're gonna do it by margin.
Oh lord.
Coffee Cat has done. So Adder managed to get a 2.
Mhm.
So before any rerolls, let me go through this. Adder, you're fine. You succeeded with a 2. Okay. Colton, you not only go through the window, you manage to do the tactical dive roll, landing here, rolling directly here forward, getting back to your feet in a parkour portion, and manages to get you to jump damn near into oncoming traffic. Is the amount of distance you manage to make with this. All right. And when it comes to Omen, you fling open the door, right? And you know what? We're gonna make this awesome. So rather than let go of the door, what you proceed to do is pull it down. And remember, this is one of those coiling up steel doors, right? That you would typically see. Yeah. You pull that thing down so fast that you actually strip it off of the sheet and off of its wheel and actually manage to pull it over yourself as though it's a goddamn shield.
A makeshift fire
Holy
blanket.
shit.
Okay, you managed to go
Fuck yeah.
makeshift fire blanket with a steel garage door at this point. Ruby,
Fuck yeah.
unfortunately, one is not going to help you.
No.
Okay. The good news is you were not in close. You were pretty much the same distance as Adder was at that point. So you, out of all this chaos, are the only one to take 1 point of aggravated damage.
Okay.
Okay. However, when this happens, you end up seeing the entire garage suddenly envelop in flame. Flame shoots out of the garage door as it reaches for air to end up consuming, like vampires for blood. It bursts outward. You end up seeing the entirety of the office portion just illuminated. The flames kick up, burning up the air fresheners for cars, those little pine trees in the back, all now burning. A forest fire in a garage, as you can end up seeing it illuminate the night sky. You all end up feeling the blast as you're pushed down to the ground, which
Filtering
Ruby,
my eyes.
yeah, Adder, this is so bright. This is painful to end up trying to end up doing this. This is too bright. It's too much light. It's too much to focus. And you.
And I had heightened senses on, so I'm probably temporarily blinded at the moment.
yeah. In fact, I'm going to need a roll from both you and Ruby at this point. No one told me they were turning this shit off.
What do I roll for that?
God, I want to say it's a composure plus wits. Check that real quick.
And for the reaction on aspects, yeah.
Yeah, because this is heightened senses, right? This is wits resolve.
Yeah, what's resolve?
Wits resolve.
I'm still at that penalty, of course.
Yep, and you are both at penalties.
Can I rouse for this?
So we need 3. Adder, you do get the 3.
And I'm back at number 3.
Congratulations.
Oh, I would have been at -2 twice because of my bane.
Yeah, you
Because
would
of
have.
bright light?
Shit.
Okay. So that means I would only have 1 success.
Yeah. Okay, so Adder, you're blind. Ruby, you're blind.
Yep.
Which doesn't help, Ruby, because I'm gonna explain on how you hear it. You hear sirens. You hear sudden screeching of tires. Multiple sets. Feels like they're from all around you. You end up hearing doors open. And you most certainly hear the clicking of a hammer being cocked of a pistol. Several of them. And a lot of orders to get down on the ground now.
She will get down as best she can, being blinded.
Colton, Omen, you find yourselves able to stumble up as you were being pulled out at her. You've managed to get a little bit clear. Now you're not towards the road like Ruby, Colton, and now Omen were. You're in the back. So what you see is that Manitoba's finest are on the scene. In the middle of this burning location, you end up seeing many of them with their guns drawn. Seeing Omen and Colton armed had just come out of a place that exploded. Omen, I told you. A blanket of snow, a light sheet that ends in blue and fire. And I think that is where we'll call this session for tonight.
No!
No!
Back!
No!
No!
God.
God damn it, no!
Omen, don't blame me. You're the one who wrote her.
Yeah? Oh no, I well expected this bullshit. I was like, the moment someone removes that fucking blanket off that body, something horrible is going to happen. I fucking know this.
Look,
I couldn't see
I
it.
saw the writing on the wall and knew exactly what was going to happen. But I'm the kind of person that will play to his character, and I'm not going to meta that because no one said anything. He didn't say anything about his thing.
Oh,
Ruby never said anything about
It's all
selling.
good.
Yeah, I had to play into it, and because that's what he would have done.
Oh no, this is perfectly fine. Omen was like, Omen couldn't really see inside. It was fucking dark. He can't see in the dark. He's like, what the fuck is that smell?
What's the smell?
It's blood. Actually, kerosene.
But no, Omen is pissed. He knew this was gonna happen. And it's like, I'm gonna find you. We gonna have some words.
Man, I just want to play more.
You're the one who ended up writing her. I'm just playing off of what you kept. You insisted somebody who is incredibly intelligent, a sire who is very much a individual who is more of a thinker than a brawler. Even if they could fuck your shit up, they are thinkers. You specifically wrote them in a way that they are always ahead of the curve.
They're a fucking menace, which is why Omen is annoyed.
Oh man.
I'm
He
gonna
loves
have
him
to kill a
and hates
bitch.
him.
Oh, you think you're going to have to? Like, I'm just wondering how many stains I'm going to take for gunning down cops to save Ruby.
You don't have a conviction against killing people. That's not in the Chronicle tenets.
I do have a conviction against killing innocent people.
Are some cops innocent? Are they?
Unless I
that's-
know they're dirty.
Which there's no way to know given the
Yeah.
circumstance.
Ruby can try to talk her way out of it. I mean, technically, all she was doing was just fucking standing there with the dog.
Yeah. That would be true if there wasn't
Mhm.
people with cell phones earlier.
I know.
Mm-hmm. I knew
Well,
right when we got spotted they were calling the police.
Wow, it's going to be an interesting point. Though I'm curious if Colton really wants to end up having a shootout. I can imagine that being masquerade breaching pretty quick.
yeah.
But we'll have to
It's
figure out where
okay.
this story is going.
You'll get to see the bullshit that was on the next session.
Yay. Because Ruby can't fight.
Well,
All right.
Gonna be interesting.
Adder barely can. He's more of a hider and a run.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to end up seeing if Adder can end up finding some way to end up saving his coterie.
Oh boy.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. We end up doing experience a little bit differently. I can already see that the poll is up, and we're going to end up starting off with experience. Now, because we're kicking this off, and because of dramatic choices being made by Colton, I'm not going to give everybody one experience. I'm going to give everybody 2 experience for showing up.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Oh.
You're going to need it.
strong narrative choices.
Mhm.
Then we got
Yeah.
three categories that the players vote on amongst themselves. Who had the best, or who pushed the plot, who had the best scene, who had the best line. But then there's that 5th point of experience. That 5th point of experience comes down to you, the audience, who gets to choose who it is that ends up getting, or who it is that you found to be your favorite. Be it by clan, be it by player, be it by action, be it by character. Whatever it is, you don't need to justify the criteria. You could just end up picking them based off of the first letter in their name for all we care. Or you can do it in reverse order. Whatever it is. Roll a die. We don't care. Just so long as you vote. So, that being said, who's the plot pusher here?
Colton.
Colton.
I think I stirred up enough shit.
Alright. So, we got Colton. So, it seems damn near unanimous. So, we're going to give it to Colton. Who had the best scene, though?
I'm gonna throw Ruby in there for trying to get Earl to go tell Colton about the fucking kerosene.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Paranoia makes us do stupid shit.
I'm going to throw Colton under the bus for that. Because him explaining things to Preacher is kind of funny.
I like
with-
your funny words, Magic Man.
I'll go with that.
Notice I said throw you under the bus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I'm probably going to get run over at this point.
I'm sure Colton isn't stupid. He might not be uneducated, but he's not stupid.
No.
He's not an idiot. He's smart.
There is a distinct difference between uneducated and stupid. That being said, I don't think I've heard a vote from Omen yet. We got one Adder, or we got one Ruby, we got one Colton.
Guess I'll go Ruby on this one.
Okay, we got 2 Ruby, one Colton.
No, it's
I'm
two
gonna
to
have. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be selfish.
All right.
I don't get
Okay.
a
Well,
good
then
scene
we
from
are
now on.
leaving it to the die roll. High or low, ladies and gentlemen? High or low?
Low
Low.
clan low.
Low clan low, low clan low. I'm hearing low clan. That's 6.
Of
Nobody
course.
gets it.
Yeah, it's
All
so
right.
close.
And who has the best line?
That's me. Are you sure?
Are you sure?
I'm gonna put mine in. It's like, I know we were in a Catholic church, but I didn't think this was the Wizard of Oz. When he was doing his best,
The wizard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it to Colton for mine though. Telling Natter he's got to kill Preacher.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That was good.
You have to
very
what?
very matter of the fact. Like, well, considering I was just sent to kill your sire.
Oh. Well, Colton, looks like you are the big winner tonight. So you got the audience vote.
Nice.
Damn, I'm one experience away from getting level 3 in Obfuscate.
Damn.
What?
Huh.
All right. Well,
Thank you, Spectre.
Spectre dropping 10k points. Jesus.
Right.
just to make it happen.
Yep.
Mhm.
I'm only one away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us for this shorter episode of Vampire the Masquerade. I hope that you've all enjoyed the story, as we have quite the cliffhanger to end up dealing with coming next week, which I imagine is going to be very involved. So, that being said, we're going to go and raid out. I'd like to thank you all for stopping by tonight, and I hope you all have a fantastic evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Till then, let's go raid into a dear friend of the channel. Be well, everybody. Say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night.
Right.
Good night.
Bastard! He's always one step ahead!